Good morning, everyone, and Onana is official. I'm sure we've seen the pictures. I'm sure that we are excited to see him play, especially tonight against Arsenal, where we'll be playing our first preseason game in the US. And as I said before, results is not what matters. It is the fitness, the patterns of play, the players getting used to each other, rhythmic play, as some would say. But before we get into today's video, subscribe and drop a like if you are here. And of course, we'll be speaking about the Arsenal game. We'll be speaking about Onana being officially announced, a bit of transfer news on Teles and Anthony Ilanga, and we'll be speaking about Bruno being the official new captain of Manchester United. We saw it coming, but the club have officially announced it as well. So, Arsenal. Now, last season, we could say that Arsenal were in a much better space than us, even though they didn't finish that far ahead of us, with them being in second and us being in third. But they did land a good title challenge until it fell off in the last few months or so. But they still had a good team and still have a good team. And added to that with the likes of Kai Havertz, Jurien Timber, and of course Declan Rice, which have bolstered their squad. You could say that they potentially have a squad willing and capable to go and win the league. Of course, it's not that easy, and Arteta has shown qualities as a coach, but he's also have has faults. Sorry, and it's not entirely far-fetched to say that we could win today. Ten Hag in his press conference said that we don't play friendly games, and he looks at this game with the detailed eye to see how we play, how we progress, and exactly where certain players are and if they are ready to be part of the first team for the season. Now, many a times when we win in the preseason game, some of our fans tend to lose their heads. They think that we're going to win the league this year. They think we're going to win all the trophies and have a very good, fantastic season. And then as soon as the season starts, we lose our first game, or we draw, or the performances is not that good, and we start complaining again. So we need to keep a lid on it. We need to be content and enjoy the games. And that being said, we also have to enjoy Andre Onana, because we do have a new number one. It's a weird thing to say, considering for the past 13 years we've had De Gea in the polls, and he's been a top class goalkeeper. But as Ten Hag was asked in the press conference about De Gea and whether he felt a certain time was needed and where he felt that, okay, you know what, now De Gea should leave, he didn't say that. He continued to reiterate that De Gea is a legend and that today in the modern game, a goalkeeper is expected to play with his feet. And unfortunately for De Gea, he's of the old dying breed of goalkeeper that was excellent with shot stopping, but never really focused on having the technical ability with the ball by their feet. And Onana himself, we've seen his quality with the ball by his feet. So the likes of Varane has spoken, Donny van de Beek has spoken, and have said that he is technically good with the ball by his feet and he's comfortable on the ball. Varane said he's excited to play with him, and we potentially will see that tonight. I don't think Ten Hag will not play him. I think a 45 minutes would suffice for him in terms of performance, getting used to the players, and of course getting a showing for not just the fans in the US but for us as well. I mean, I myself am excited to see Andre Onana in the polls, that number 24, and we knew he was going to take number 24. I don't think he was ever going to take the number one, even though he is our number one goalkeeper. I think he has a certain liking towards the number 24, and we've seen it wherever he's played. It's been at Ajax, it's been at Inter, and now more famously at Manchester United. So having someone like Onana in the polls will definitely give Varane, Martinez, Shaw, Lindelof, and I do not say Maguire because I do expect him to leave. I know he's on the tour. I know he's still part of the team, but I don't think he's going to stay at the club. I think having the captaincy stripped from him was basically a sign saying, you know what, you are being sold. And with Johnny Evans being at the club, that is another way to tell him, you know what, there is no place for you in the team. So the fact that we have Varane, Shaw, Lindelof, Martinez, and now Johnny Evans potentially for the season, there isn't place for Maguire. And Onana will find it easier, in my opinion, to play with these players and not to Maguire. And that's not being rude towards him. It's just his ability on the ball is not good enough for a club as big as Manchester United. And it was clear to see against Brentford that him and De Gea, and amongst others, could not play out from the back. And we absolutely got destroyed. Now, with Onana in the polls, we definitely can play out from the back. Ten Hag can have his total football, where, as I said, he wants to say and has said that we want to be the best team in transition. We want to be the best team that attacks, the best team that runs, the best team that plays the hardest and becomes extremely difficult to beat. And that's possible because now with Onana in the poles, we definitely can hold onto the ball and start attacks from the back. And if we cannot go forward, we can be comfortable in going back to him and recycling the play and restarting an attack. We've seen in the Champions League final Onana playing those line-breaking passes that was so good that Guardiola even said that he's a threat. And that in itself should be a positive. It should excite you because now there is and will be a goalkeeper with a physical presence to, shall I say, threaten the opponents, to put fear in the strikers and the attackers of the opposing teams, that they might find themselves a bit more concerned to go and attack him, to go and press him because of his ability on the ball and how he can expose a gap that they might leave behind them when trying to press him. So really excited to see Onana in the polls and the entire team. I mean, we know that the big hitters are now on the tour, and I'm sure Ten Hag will go with a strong 11 to see exactly one, where they are in terms of fitness, and two, exactly how they gel together. The likes of Mason Mount definitely, I'm sure, will play alongside Casemiro and Bruno to see exactly how that will work. The two eights with a sitting defensive midfielder in Casemiro. We want to definitely see ball playing between the likes of Martinez, Varane and Onana and the spine throughout the team. We obviously want to see our front line be more fluid and interchanging in their position. I'm sure and I feel Garnacho might come and start on the left with Rashford running through the middle and Anthony on the right hand side, maybe Sancho starting on the left. Pre-season is all about trying things, experimenting players in certain positions and certain combinations together, trying to create certain connections and triangles in order to have a better playing style when the real competition arrives. And you cannot really say who's going to start. You might say you want this particular person to start and that particular person, but it's very, very difficult to predict that. Therefore, pre-season should not be focused on who starts, who plays. It should be focused on one, enjoying the games, but getting that match fitness. So a game against Arsenal tonight, of course, it will always be a good game. As I said, Ten Hag said, we don't do friendly games. So basically, we know for a fact that it's going to be a good game. I'm sure we'll see goals. I'm sure we'll see great skill. And I'm sure we will get to see Andre Onana, which is the biggest excitement for today's match and the rest of the season. A bit of transfer news before we speak about Bruno finally. Anthony Elanga is and probably has completed his medical at Nottingham Forest and next week will finalize his move to Nottingham Forest for 15 million. A player who had potential. We did think he was going to be part of the first team, but I think got too many games in a team that was struggling and that didn't help his development. And because of that, kind of put him in a position where he should have rather gone out on loan or, as we see now, being sold. So Anthony Elanga has been sold to Nottingham Forest. Dean Henderson is also still being courted by Nottingham Forest, and I think he will go. It's just a matter of time in terms of the negotiation details. Alex Telles, who we know was for sale, and there was a report from Fabrizio that said that the deal fell through because Al Nassr pulled out after asking for more time, but it has been here we go, and he will be playing for Al Nassr, and he has been sold. So just another two players out the door after De Gea, and there will be more departures with the likes of Eric Bailly, shall I say, even Harry Maguire, etc. Fred, McTominay potentially, maybe Martial if an offer comes in, Sancho, who is up for sale. The club has publicly put it out there that He is a player that is for sale if a good enough offer comes in. So we will probably see more departures as the preseason goes on up until the transfer window closes. So we'll definitely speak about that when they do arrive. Lastly, for today, Bruno being the official captain, I don't think that is any, shall I say, wrong decision that was made. Ten Hag basically said that he made the decision and it was, made over the summer. So he himself, Bruno, has also said he is honored to be the official Man United captain. And he is, in my opinion, a true captain, a true leader. Ten Hag has said that not just him, but there are other leaders in the team that will help him. But he is the social connector. He is the inspiration. He is the true example, which is what Ten Hag said about him. And that is why he chose him to be his official Manchester United captain. It's what I wanted, and it's definitely what a lot of you fans wanted. And now we don't have to see Maguire come on in the last few minutes, putting on the armband as if he actually was part of the team for that day. Bruno, official captain. Onana making his debut. Elanga and Telles both being sold. And we play Arsenal tonight. So a fairly good day. Lots to look forward to. And definitely lots to be excited for. Drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. Till we speak again. Have a good day and enjoy the game. Bye-bye.